You're listening to SMUBE's Campus Radio. Say what you want to say. I'm Mouli, your host for Around the World in 80 Hours, otherwise known as AT80, where we introduce community service projects in SMU. Here with us today are Lydia and Esther from Project Yokefellow. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves and the project to us?
Hi guys, my name is Lydia and I am the project director of Project Yokefellow on Rotaract side. So a brief description of what we do is mainly liaising with the organization, and in our case we're working with Team Nila, as well as on the school side we're working with C4SR. Yeah.
Right, so hey, I'm Esther. I'm the Uni-Y CSP director for Yokefellow. Yep, so I'm working with Lydia on this project as well.
Would you guys like to tell us something about the project and what you're running?
So Project Yokefellow started around last year, October I would say. So we actually did a pilot run where we worked with Team Nila from Active SG alongside some of the government quarantine facilities that they were working with. So we conducted weekly sessions with the migrant workers where we spent time just talking and interacting with them, as well as doing simple exercises and games, and even did like a talent show for them. So that was what we did during the pilot run, which was the precursor to the start of Project Yokefellow officially. Yeah.
We just started in June with MWC, which stands for Migrant Worker Center. So yeah, we are doing something similar to pilot run, just that we're tapping more into like games instead.
Wow, that sounds very wholesome and a great initiative. So how exactly did the idea of Project Yokefellow initially come about?
Yeah, so Project Yokefellow initially started back last year when C4SR actually came forward and asked us whether we would be interested in starting up a migrant worker project. Yeah, and that was where both Uni-Y and Rotaract actually stepped up, and we were both willing to try out and start this project, and that's how this collaborative project actually came about. Yeah.
Oh, that's really interesting. So as you mentioned before, right, there was a pilot run before the actual project was conducted itself, and I was actually a volunteer for the pilot run myself. What specific elements do you think have changed in the project from its pilot run to what it is now?
I think in pilot run we did more of like engagement with the migrant workers. So mainly we just interact with them, and then we had like one main session whereby a group will be actually be presenting on like something. But then currently in the current Project Yokefellow, we don't really have a main session anymore. We usually get all the groups to do their own facilitation in their breakout rooms. So that's the change between the pilot run and the the current run right now.
So it was like the pilot run, you received feedback from the volunteers and the migrant workers, and that's when you applied these changes to the final project. Okay.
Yeah.
So what were some of your personal experiences with the migrant workers in Singapore? Maybe like any interactions that you might have had, or any anecdotes you might have heard?
One story that really struck me the most was a migrant worker who told us he actually published a book. I believe he's been in Singapore I think like 10 years or more than that, and so he actually published a book and was like he was telling us about it and about his life story and how he came to Singapore, and their jobs are not just focused on domestic labor, but they do so much more, and I think that's a part of their story that is not often heard.
Yeah, for me, I think I don't really particularly have any like personal experience like with the migrant workers, but then the reason why I joined the pilot run, I would say, is because like I feel that there's a stigma around them, and I really think like the project really the values that the project has, it kind of like aligns with mine, and I really want to like help the migrant workers. And then along the way, they're the ones trying to break the silence rather than us. It was a bit difficult for us because like all we did was like trying to interact with them, asking them how was their dinner. But then when they realized that we were running out of questions, they tried to sing and dance for us to like entertain us. So it was quite nice. I feel they're actually really like good.
Wow, those were some really great thoughts, and thanks for sharing your personal experiences with us. So how do you think this project would have been conducted if it wasn't for the COVID-19 pandemic? Also, since you mentioned that this project was in some way a result of the pandemic, right?
I would say that COVID-19 was probably a catalyst to the start of this project. for sure, a lot of them actually are interested in having physical sessions, especially with the volunteers, because that is like the best way to engage with them. I think COVID-19 has made the situation so uncertain. Like we mentioned, there were a lot of delays in the projects, especially trying to find a dorm that was willing to work with us, even with all the restrictions that they're facing from MOM, and it was because of COVID-19 that their plight was highlighted, and that we saw the greater need to befriend them and engage them, especially when they were stuck in their dorms and unable to travel out to even meet their friends So, but I believe it's a good start, and there's so much more that can be done for this group.
That's right, and I think it's amazing how you dealt with all of these challenges and still made the project possible and so impactful on the migrant workers and the whole community. So I think you already mentioned like a part of this in your previous answer, but what changes do you think that this project will experience going forward? So any particular future plans you have as of now?
So for mine, I think I might be working with MOM instead rather than Active SG. Okay, because I really want to like explore different sides in a sense. Maybe it'll be good if I can explore other side, like maybe soft skills kind of thing. Yeah, I realized that our students really like to teach people stuff, right? So I really want to like explore that side as well.
On Rotaract side, there'll be a new project director stepping in, and I do believe that she's planning to continue Yokefellow also. Not sure whether together or separately, but definitely still targeting migrant workers. We are trying to find a dorm that we can consistently work with, and we can develop a stronger bond with the migrant workers.
So yeah, I think that's great, and we're all really looking forward to the future of Yokefellow, and we wish you all the best with the project. So finally, one last question. What do you think that the future members of Yokefellow can take away from the CSP?
Maybe how they think of the migrant workers, because honestly when we talk about migrant workers, we're all always thinking about construction work, but then actually when we go into this project, when they start talking about like their work experiences or like even their lives outside of work, it's actually quite different from how we think. So in that sense, it kind of like changes the students' perspectives when they join this project. Yeah, that's one thing I can think about right now. Maybe Lydia can add on.
Yeah, definitely. I think that coming into the project and leaving it really changes the way that you look at them. At the end of the day, they are part of our society, and we can do so much more to make them feel included. And I just hope that they will be able to really just embrace this community going forward. Yes.
Yeah, I really can't wait to see all of us volunteers develop together with this project in the ways that you mentioned. So thank you so much. And are there any final words you would like to say to our viewers right now?
Now, there's a lot more that we can do for this community, and if you're interested, do look out for both Uni-Y and Rotaract. There'll be more details on the project and maybe more concrete stuff about what we'll be doing in the future. And even if you do not join our project, I hope that you can continue to join us as we embrace the migrant worker community in Singapore.
Just enjoy yourself during the process. Yeah, if you really like to give out to the community, like help the community, then yeah, please join the community service projects that we have, both our clubs. If not, you all can always explore other clubs as well. Yeah,
yes.
We're not like forcing you guys to join us.
Yes. I think really at the heart of it is just our passion for serving the community, and I hope that you will join us in this exciting journey also.
So do look out for SMU Uni-Y and Rotaract, and thank you so much Esther and Lydia for coming down for the super insightful chat today, and thank you guys for joining us in this video. Once again, I'm Mouli, and you're listening to SMUBE's Campus Radio. Say what you want to say. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.